Hey everybody, again, what's going on? Phone was just ringing. Back in the bush. This week we got the shit. Check this out. We got a load of shit, actually. This is horse manure. I've got probably well over a yard in the back of the old Ford here. It didn't seem to care. This is kind of neat. This is a load handler. Anybody's ever seen one of these? I've had it for years. It works like a conveyor belt that you can actually crank it and the whole load will come off. Now when you get this much material, you can see how it's all packed in around the wheel wells and stuff. That probably will lock up right now, but the thing is, you can shovel it off the back for a while. Then once you lighten her up a bit, you can bring the load back to you. So anyways, yeah, I wanted a load of horse manure, cow manure or something, as I said in the last video, to put in the flower bed in the garden out front. We're gonna have a row of sunflowers and all that. Gotta love the way the internet works. Power of the internet, social media. I put it on Facebook. There's a group on there for the local area where I'm at here, looking for a load of cow or horse manure. Within 15 minutes I had a response. A lady right on her way over from where we live has a farm, and it was composted horse manure. It's a couple years old, so it's decent, and I'm going to hit it with lime hard. She didn't even want anything for it. Loaded us with a tractor. I gave her 20 bucks for her time. She's got a whole bunch with there, so we may get some more. So we're going to see how it works. Lots of nitrogen, as you know. So what I did here to start out today is I put a good layer all the way down in this flower bed, and I put a bunch of pelletized lime in there too to help level it out, sweeten the soil, as they say, neutralize it a bit. So because you normally be a bit acid when you start using a horse manure like that. Hopefully the weeds aren't too bad, but we're going to put a bunch in the garden out front, the veggie garden, in a bit. And what we've already got started, Cindy actually started at home, is a bunch of sunflowers, and we're going to have a row going the whole way up the hill. Last year, I think you guys probably remember, at the end of the garden we had a few going on there. This year, the rest of them we planted didn't come in very well because, number one, the animals ate them when they were small, and number two, the seeds just didn't take because the soil was terrible. So I hope to add some of this manure to the row up the hill for the sunflowers. So it's good to see. Peonies are all, actually not peonies, I'm sorry, these are all the lupins over here. They're looking really good. Nothing's eaten any of them yet. The peony and the, it's like flowering with Sparky here. Gardening with Sparky. There's our little bleeding heart already. Look at that bad boy. We just planted that last week. Moved it from out front. Coolest plant, eh? Anybody that's never seen a bleeding heart, that's what they call it. The peonies here, that one looks really good. We've already put tomato cages on them because they'll get so big they'll fall over. They can't support themselves. And this one over here is actually, you can just barely see the burgundy coming up through the soil. Again, the smaller one was out front for years. The bigger one we brought from the house off a bigger peony. So everything's looking great here so far. So nice to have you guys back. Got the apple trees leafing out over here. But I'll show you just quick, the lupins are looking real good here. Whole row of them. That Bob X works. That one there. Look at them, nothing's chewed on them since, right? They're looking pretty good actually already. Each one of them, none of them's been chewed since the initial mow down. That one there was almost killed. That one there, that one on the end. Only thing is, one of the commenters on the last video when I showed the Bob X, and it's a little alarming, he said, oh, it repels deer and rabbits and it attracts bears. I could see how it would. The smell of it has got a bunch of stuff in it that probably would attract bears. So rotten eggs and fish oil and whatever crap is in it, so I could see it actually attracting bears. Hopefully we won't have a problem here. A resident duck landed here a couple minutes ago. This is insane. Quite a year. Anyways, done rambling for now, just floating around enjoying the weather here, and it's the start of the long weekend. Well, here we go, guys. We are out here. It is Saturday. I guess it doesn't matter to you, but we are by the garden, and what we're doing is we're unloading our load of shit. Unloading our load of stuff. So what we've done is all the way up the side of the hill here, can see the brown row. I tried planting sunflowers the last year. The only ones that did good were the ones in the garden down here because the soil is so much better here in the main garden. So what I want to do this year, we've still got over half of this load of this in here. And we've been shoveling it off by hand, getting close to the top. But it come the time where it's getting awkward to shovel, so I'm going to see if my load handler is going to work. I haven't used this thing in years. It's been on here 7 or 8 years since I've actually used it. But the material it's made out of, they're not supposed to rot or anything. So Cindy is going to get a video of this once I find out where the crank handle is for it.
Oh, you didn't leave it in the truck, did you?
There's a crank handle for this somewhere. I'll be back, hang on. Well, due to a little miscalculation and clearly another Davy Dum-Dum moment, I can't find the crank handle for the load handler. So we're gonna have to manually shovel all this off. There's a thing that goes through this hole here, or a 3-foot steel handle. I could literally just roll this off like a conveyor right now, but I can't find it. It may be buried under the load. I don't think it is. We're not sure. When we got to Chickie's house there where she was going to load all this stuff, we had to get out and... Oof, that was smelly. Was that you or the load? That was cruel. Anyways, I knew something smelled weird. Don't know where it went because the tiller, this little mini tiller, was in the back of the truck, and I had a couple tomato cages which we put in there. I had to take everything out, and then I stretched this thing out. I'm sure I had that crank handle, and I'm sure I threw it back in with the tiller and everything. So either the load shifted a bit and it's buried, or could be laying in Chickie's driveway. Hopefully not. Anyway, what I'm gonna have to do now is, we've already got a whole row. We put her on pretty heavy the whole way up the hill here, and we're gonna need lots because it's just gravel. What I'm gonna do is put some lime. I've got some pelletized lime right here, some in this bucket, some in this bag. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to park the truck, or actually I could do some of her from here. I'm going to have to shovel the rest of it off. It's going to go into here with some lime, and get the tiller out in a while and run the tiller through it. So gardening day here, hanging out with Chicken Nugget. My pelletized lime. Funny and ironic at the same time. This is one of them moments, don't doubt what the girl says. I was sure I took this crank handle off when I unloaded everything, and I think I left it at the place where we got the stuff. Well, guess what? Guess where it was? Front corner of the load, buried down in this corner where Miss Cynthia said it was. I said, no, I must have moved that out of there. She said, no, you didn't. Well, guess what? Anyways, I got most of it off. I still got a fair amount up front. There's still a few good wheelbarrow loads there. So now that I finally found the crank handle, I'm going to show you guys how good this thing works. This is pretty cool. You guys check this out. So anyways, I don't know if anybody's ever seen how this thing works, but watch this. Look at this load coming. It's over there.
Just looking.
Like, we almost need your wagon or something because a lot of this is going to fall on the ground here.
That, or why don't you just park in front of
Back
it?
the truck up to the garden,
Yeah.
maybe. This is effortless right now to move, and there's still a lot of stuff on there.
Well, why don't you move the truck, and then we'll show the people.
Okay. Quite a design. You think about what they actually come out with, right? I guess this is a Canadian Tire like 8 or 9 years ago. But it's called a load handler. Basically a conveyor belt. But look, 2 fingers. Isn't that crazy? 2 fingers. There's the stuff coming off. Now, instead of climbing all the way in the truck to get the rest, look, I could either keep going or shovel it off.
Or you shovel it off because it's waist level here.
Yeah.
See, and all it is the roller that we put on a tarp.
Yeah.
The only reason the tarp was on there is so the poop wasn't in the bed of the truck. We got a little bit back there that didn't stay on the tarp, but
I don't know, all in all, it works good.
yeah.
I'm throwing it that way, so you got to move there,
Yeah,
Chicky.
I will. That's
Straight
it.
away.
That's it.
There you go.
See, poop in the garden.
Shit in the garden.
Shit in the garden.
Shit in the garden.
I won't say anything because Dave's standing there too. So.
Wow. Well, guys, spent the afternoon just puttering away out here. Had the rototiller out, got the garden all tilled. It's actually almost supper time now. Come out really good. I'll till it again next week. Look how good that looks. Beautiful, eh? And that can be nice. That can be nice, and the whole way up the hill for sunflowers. I'm tired of fighting with the deer eating this garden and the rabbits eating the beans. I love string beans. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do next week is we're bringing over deer netting, and we're going to drive some poles in all the way around this garden. We're going to put deer net around it because I've had it with it. You put a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of work into it, getting it ready, and then you come over here and the deer annihilate it. So, had enough of it. I'm tired of it. My little water hole I dug last year, full of water. It's been wet enough this spring that I've been ready to fill that in a couple times because it was so dry last year. But anyway, gonna leave it for now. But it's almost supper time. I'm going to show you guys. Cindy's got something different on the go in the cabin here. This is going to be kind of interesting to try. Something she's never made before. Well, I just came in to show you what Cindy's cooking. She broke the peeler, so I got to try to fix this thing. I think it just pulled out of there. I can fix this in a minute. Anyway, she is going to make fiddlehead soup. We went out last week one day. A spot that I knew was some fiddleheads, and it was hard to believe, but we were actually late this year on picking these things. And we got some. They're only real smaller ones. The bigger ones, somebody already came in and cleaned them out. And on the way over here yesterday, I stopped because there's a spot on the way over that we picked some last year. They're already opened up. They're already a full ostrich fern. So there's what we ended up picking this year. Probably a couple pounds in there total. They're little ones, but they're going to be tasty ones. So she is going to actually make some fiddlehead soup. She's got it underway here. And in that you're going to put, and this is, again, this is nothing off a recipe. This is something we're just going to whip together. We want a cream soup, a fiddlehead cream soup. So she already bought some broccoli. Where are those packages? We have onions here. She's going to put some carrot in it. She's going to put some potato in it. And she bought a couple packages of Knorr stuff here. Cream of broccoli, Knorr packages. So, yeah, cream of broccoli, Knorr. You can see it in the light here. There you go, cream of broccoli. She's going to use that as a cream base, I guess, to help cream it up a little. And she's going to throw this together. So it should be pretty tasty. So we'll check it out here and see how she's making out. How you making out, chick?
Oh, I'm doing good.
She's doing good. No cats this weekend, guys. It's just her and I. Because we had to stop and get the load of stuff on the way over. But poor Fred. Poor Fred, poor Fred, poor Fred. He was so traumatized. This poor little boy. Fred has a memory of an elephant, pretty well, they say. He was absolutely terrified of this place because the kitchen is totally different than the last time he was here. So we didn't basically see him the whole time from when we got here until we had to leave, 2 days later, and had to go up and get him. He went deep upstairs. He come down once for a few minutes there, I think about a day in, just to say hi and let us know, make a presence and let us know he's okay. But Fred is not Fred doesn't do well with change. Yep. Daisy wasn't as bad, but Fred didn't do well. I gotta turn the wood stove down. I got her on here. Take the dampness out. Fred doesn't do well with change. Anyway, we didn't bring any cats this week, again, because we stopped and got the load of horse poop on the way over and had to wait for the lady to get her tractor out and all that and load it for us. So worked out great. Got at least a yard of the stuff out there and put it to good use in the garden. And we've already got sunflowers. Cindy did started at the house. She's got a bunch of small sunflowers that she saved from one last year that was here, a couple of them. So repurposing the seed. Anyways,
you may see an orange cat here next week.
You may see an orange cat next week. You never know. Maybe we'll bring one of the other ones over to keep Daisy company. These are the fresh fiddleheads. Again, there's some people commented in the other video and that about fiddleheads, never had them. These are kind of a local delicacy in the Maritimes, and they are, $5 a pound approximately to buy them.
Right here.
They're around different in the area. Some places are cheaper, some are more, but most are around average $5. The farther north you go in the province, they get $4 and $3 a pound actually. I'd like to get 10 pounds and freeze them and put them away for the winter and that, but I don't know how we're going to do yet. But Cindy is going to, what are you doing, counting them?
No, I'm picking, I'm picking the better ones to cook whole, and then I'm going to chop up the smaller ones.
She wants to chop them up. I think that's terrible.
Still give them more flavor.
Some people puree it when they make this kind of soup, and they'll take these things and just turn them into green mush. I would rather have chunky fiddleheads in the soup, personally, the cream soup. It's like a broccoli cream or whatever. I'd like to have chunks of broccoli. I don't need it pulverized into, a paste. But
chunks of fiddleheads.
Chunks of fiddleheads, anyways. Could be an interesting meal. Let's see how it goes here. So anyways, Cynthia has the stuff cooking. It's going big time.
Oh, it's good.
Smells really, really, really good. Smells really good.
All we have left to put in is the mix with milk and a little bit more butter.
Well, there you go. Mix and milk and... What are you drinking, Cindy?
Tomato juice.
Tomato juice. Oh, that's good for your health.
It is.
It is good for you. Well, it's Saturday night on the long weekend, so I guess you're allowed to have a drink of tomato juice. I'm having fruit juice, so
It works.
It works. Fruit cake with a fruit juice.
Hey.
Anyways, talk to you in a bit. Well, anyways, she already put the broccoli mix in. I didn't catch that. Well, there you go. This is looking pretty good already.
And the milk.
And the milk. Going to be a really good, hopefully, fiddlehead soup. What do you think, Cindy? Got anything to tell all our viewers? Do you have anything to say?
It's been a wonderful long weekend.
Happy New Year, and Happy New Year?
No.
No?
No.
Happy Victoria Day.
Is that what it is?
I think so. It's a long weekend of friggin' May. Oh my goodness, what a girl. It's going to be a long night. Looks really good. Smells really good. Should be good stuff. Fiddlehead, Cindy's first fiddlehead soup.
Actually, I think I made one last year, didn't I?
Nope.
You sure?
You did not. It's going to be awesome. There you go. Fiddlehead soup with a bit of cream and fresh chives growing right out front. This is going to be really, really good. Well, here we go. Once again, time to bail. Wish we could stay another day. It's a long weekend, but when you get kitties at the house that kind of rely on stuff, you got to kind of go home and take care of your kitties. So, great weekend here. Just did some rototilling and a bit of gardening here and there. Got the lawn mowed. No great drama or stress here this weekend. Enjoyed ourselves. Fiddlehead soup was absolutely wonderful. Kind of sad, too, last night, we're sitting on YouTube, and I'm sure lots of people are going to know this name, but Luke Nickel, Outdoor Boys, he just announced he's shutting his channel down. 14 million subscribers and building. Problem is building so fast that he said he has no privacy anymore. People are trying to contact him constantly. He's got a wife and 3 young boys, right? The man is just trying to live a normal life, and when you get that big, bigger than life, anybody ever saw any of his videos, the man's a freaking legend. He'd go dig a snow cave in 6 feet of snow. He's got a place in Alaska, a cabin, and then he lived in the States, in one of the states. Brilliant, just brilliant. Stupid amount of skills. The man could do anything. He can make anything out of wood. He could make anything out of metal. Metal fabrication. He'd walk in his videos, and he'd be out doing these survival videos out in the woods. He'd go stay at minus 50 in Alaska in the snow with nothing more than like a bear pelt or something, right? Just crazy. And build a fire, but he'd be walking. He'd know every tree, every shrub, every plant. He'd know it. And the man's a lawyer, is what he actually started out as. But, you know, it's much respect to this guy, because so many people, I'm sure, try to emulate him, and people are going to try to bounce off of his videos now and probably make money off him. But anyway, Outdoor Boys, he shut her down. He put a goodbye video, he said yesterday, and it's just too much. Just too much. We started watching him, what, a year and a half ago probably, and I think he had 7 million subs, and he grew to 14 million. Too much. So anyway, sad to see, and I'm sure a lot of people are pretty disappointed to hear that announcement this weekend that he shut her down. Anyway, we're going to shut her down for this week, me and my 10,000 subs, and we're not quite to Luke yet, but we're pushing there. So anyways, great to have you guys along. Next week, it's just going to be some more gardening and a bunch of other stuff, so I don't know. I hope I don't bore you guys too bad, but we're going to start camping a bunch of different places here soon, too. Motorcycle camping, car camping, a bunch of different ways to camp, so if you want to follow us around, love to have you there. From Cynthia and I right now, live simply, remain grateful. We'll talk to you soon.